Mercedes-AMG Interview Lounge.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the one and only Karamo Brown. Thanks for coming in today.
Are you kidding me? I'm happy to be here.
So just imagine, you sit down and you write a book, and it's not that easy. You work with other people. It takes time. It takes thought. It's emotional. There's many things that go into writing a book. And then the day the book comes out, today is your day.
It is today, and I am full of nerves, and I'm normally never full of nerves, but luckily I know how to manage my anxiety.
But it's happy nerves. I mean, we always say the thin line between fright and excitement.
Yes.
You're right there in the middle.
Right there.
So let's start with Karamo. You first met Karamo on MTV, The Real World, Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
Right? And then Queer Eye on Netflix. You guys are about to do season 3, right?
Yeah, drops March 15th. Very excited about it. The trailer came out last night, and I'm in my hotel room, and I'm bawling, thinking, why am I crying? I was there.
Yeah. They said a lot of people were crying watching the trailer.
It's what the show does to us. Yeah.
Well, I know, but I think shows like that are just so important. It's important to cry. It's important to feel.
100%. I mean, that's what my whole book is about, of like going through a journey of healing and figuring out who you are, what you need to do to become a better person, and then getting to the place where you're like, the mic is moving with me.
Oh, sorry. we're having mic problems. Welcome to
there we go.
Welcome to radio.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let's go back to the book. It's called Karamo, My Story of Embracing Purpose, Healing, and Hope. Let's break it down. You make it very simple to figure this out. Embracing purpose.
Yes.
Talk about it.
We all have dreams, every single one of us. But people look at us living our dreams and they don't realize that each and every single one of us had a whole bunch of struggles before we got to this place. And they're like, how do I get there? How do I get over the fact that I don't have enough money? I don't know what to do. I don't even know who to ask. In this book, I show you exactly how to do it because I had to go through that process.
All right. Healing.
With healing, there was a lot of turmoil in my childhood, just from coming from immigrant parents and living in Texas and Florida, and people saying I'm different and that I'm not good enough, to the place where when I finally started to let people into my life regarding my sexuality, I don't use the term coming out, then they all of a sudden started saying, well, because you're gay, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so I had to heal myself from all of those negative narratives and find space in myself to say, you know what? I'm still going to be great. I'm still going to be happy, and I'm going to have a life that I want to have.
And what's beautiful about a story like this is it doesn't have to be that you're gay. It could be that you are whatever people have assigned you to be.
Yep.
They put you in a corral and say you can only be that and nothing else. Right. And so I think it's so great to have a story like your story to relate to.
Yeah.
Okay, what about hope?
Hope is what we all hope for this country, for ourselves, for our families. A lot of times people, I was almost say they poop on our almost cussed right there. They poop on our dreams and our hope, and you know what I mean. Like, and we get to a place where we just don't know how to find that hope back, because when people have beaten you down every single day at work, in your family, you get to a place where you're like, why? You might still be going through the emotions of each day, but you don't know how to really feel happy about it. And I was at that space, and I had to pick myself back up so that I could have hope for tomorrow. And now I wake up hopeful. Hopeful that people will buy this book.
Was there one moment where you looked at everything going on in your life, when everything was going on, you go, this, I need to make a change. I need to do something now.
Yeah, it's the day that I found out that I was a father. You know, like, my journey to fatherhood was like very unexpected.
Wait, well, you found out you were a father?
Yeah.
How old was your child?
9 when I found out.
What?
Yes.
Okay. And how did that happen?
So,
I know.
Well,
I mean, how did that? No. How did you find out? How did you find out?
So men and women, they get together. No, we're joking. So at 15, my first and only girlfriend, she and I, she was like, "You want to lose your virginity to each other?" And I was like, "Sure." It happened. It lasted 2 minutes, and I was like, I don't ever want to do that again.
Oh, my God. By the way, I must say, compared to my story, the same thing. You lasted 2 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, what a stud.
So as that point happened, I was like, you know what? I am going to, let's go ahead and be friends. And we continue to be friends, best friends. But she moved away. And this is before the advent of technology as we know it today. You know, this is 1995. So when she moved, she was gone. And I never thought of her again. Fast forward to 10 years later, almost 11 years later, I'm coming home from an MTV event after the Real World, high out of my mind because I was in this swirl of like drugs and liquor and feeling like I had to be the party guy to keep up with this quote unquote fame that I was given. And there was a stack of papers on my doorstep for back child support.
Ooh, ow.
For this child I didn't know about. And at first I thought I was being punked. Do you remember the show?
Yeah.
I was like Ashton Kutcher's in my house. So I went downstairs and changed clothes because I wanted to see Ashton Kutcher. And I was like, oh, he's in my house. We're going to meet. We're going to be friends. I'm going to
all
date.
convinced that you're on.
Yeah, I'm punked.
Oh my goodness.
And I walked in the house and nobody was in there. And I was like, well, this was somebody else's paperwork. Threw it down, but looked at it later and saw my name, then her name, and I froze because I hadn't seen her name since we were 15 years old. And then underneath that, I saw my son's name, and then had to go on this journey back to Texas, where I'm from, to find out if I am the father, and then met him. And then got custody. But can you imagine being this druggy, alcoholic?
Yes.
Yes, you know, got 26-year-old who's lost in a sense, now thrusted into the point of, I have to be a father and I have to do better for not only myself, but for my kid. And that's part of the journey I talk about in this book of like, if I can handle that, if I can handle that with the tools and tips I give you in this book, you can handle whatever's going on in your life.
If you're just turning us on, Karamo Brown is here. His new book is called Karamo, The Story of Embracing Purpose, Healing, and Hope. This is kind of creepy, but I have to talk to you about something.
Yes.
Where in Texas are you from?
Houston.
Okay, I'm from Dallas.
Yeah.
And you were how old when you got your girlfriend pregnant?
15.
I was 16.
Really?
When were you in your cocaine days? In Houston?
No.
In New York?
Yeah, like everywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere it was available.
All right, well, pick up my book. You'll read about those days.
So could have our paths crossed?
I'm much older than you. Keep that in mind.
Listen, I have this daddy thing, so like,
I don't want to be a bear or a daddy.
I heard you earlier say that you're a pterodactyl. You are nowhere. Okay, you're still in hot status. All right?
Just so weird.
He's engaged. Behave.
Well, daddies, bears. Anyway, well, I will tell you, Karamo. When they told me you wanted to come on the show because of the book, which is like officially out today.
Yes.
I mean, it's a big day for Karamo. I was like, well, God, I'm writing this book too. I want to talk to him about what it was like. Because my point when I decided to write a book was everyone has a book in them. Everyone has that story, and we can all learn from it. I think your book is a more something we can learn from, and mine is more of just a story. But what was it like sitting down? Because I think I know the answer, but I want everyone to hear this. When someone interviews you to talk about, or someone talks to you about what you have done, these stories, they collect these stories, and then it's all written up, then you read it for the first time, it freaks you out a little bit.
Completely.
Because you're reading about you, but it's in story form, and you really get to know yourself a lot.
Completely. It's the same way I felt like when I was 22 and I started watching the episodes of Real World back. It's like you're looking at your life and you're like, is that me? Did I just do that crazy stuff? And you're like, oh, that is me. You know what I mean? It's really weird.
You go through life and you think you know you. You think that you can predict what you're going to do next. You don't really. I mean, your friends sometimes through their lens can tell you who you are better than you can.
Now, obviously, neither of you are going to put everything in the book.
No.
Actually, I did.
You did?
I put every single thing.
Oh, because I was going to say, how do you sit there and go, you know
I was
what?
like, no.
Maybe I shouldn't put this in, you know?
No, see, that was one of the big things for me is that I said, for me, and the fact that I was trying to give people advice. You said you're not giving advice. For me, being a psychotherapist, I was like, I'm going to do people a disservice if I'm not giving them all of the parts of my life and really being completely transparent. So I dive in for everything.
Oh, wow.
And that was really harder for more people around me, like my family, friends, because they were like, oh, you dropping my drama too?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, you were there. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have been the one doing it with me. But I did get permission from everyone before I put it in. But I thought it was important for people to see, like, a lot of times when we get stuck in these moments that we can't grow through, it's because of the people around us. And how do you get to a space where you can evaluate who's around you and say, you know what? Time for you to go. I'm going to love you from a distance, and I need to bring closer.
Well, this is important news for everyone to learn. I mean, we're all going through that. And you know what? Even though you're writing about it, your life is still far from over, and you're still going to have to make these corrections through your life.
Yeah.
Are we in your book? Because we're not in Elvis's book.
Yes, you are.
I just want to say.
Yes, you are. And I'm going to love you from afar.
So, asking for a friend, what was it about the people that you decided, I'm going to let you go or love you from afar, that made you say, this might not be for me right now?
I realized that there were some people that when we would talk, every time we would have a conversation, it was either full of gossip, full of negativity, or there was just never anything positive where I felt like they're planting some type of seed in me to grow. And it's like really evaluating that. And a lot of times, those people are the fun people to be around. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? On a Saturday night, a cocktail, you're who I want to be around. Right. But on a Tuesday morning, when I'm like trying to figure out how to actually better myself, solve a problem in my family, solve a problem with my kids, you might not be the person I want to be around. So it's okay to set boundaries with the people who have been in your life for 10, 20 years or have been in your life for a day. And that's what I had to learn.
You know, Karamo, and this is something I tell my family here every day. One of the great things I love about being the oldest guy in the room is I have learned the power of being able to say the word no.
Amen.
I have learned the power of being able to say, hey, when you get your life together, then you can work on mine, but not until then. Okay. You know, so my point is this. Why do you have to wait until you reach a certain level of maturity or age on this planet in order to live this way?
Yeah.
That's why I think what Karamo's talking about in the book, it's great to know if you're 21,
right.
You know, why wait till you're 54, whatever I am, to learn these things about life? It's true. Unless you have to go through them yourself and, you know, go through the pain and agony.
Yeah. Well, as a culture, we tell kids, be seen but not heard. Don't speak back. Don't talk up. Your opinion doesn't matter. And so as you get older, that sticks with you. Also in our culture, we tell women, like, you can't speak up. You know, if you do, you're now the B word, or you are emotional. And so what happens is you start to feel like I have to accept certain things in order to continue the life that I want. And that is the absolute false fact of your life.
I want to read this book.
Yeah, too.
And this is day one. Karamo Brown. It's Karamo, My Story of Embracing Purpose, Healing, and Hope. If you're here in New York City, you'll be at Barnes & Noble Union Square tonight at 7.
I will be.
So I want to. I was told, get ready. The worst day of your life is when you have to sign 8,000 books.
Writer's cramp.
I don't know. And I just found out my pre-sale starts tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
Yay.
Wow. I know. It's kind of crazy.
That's so cool.
But look, you know, Karamo's story is much more focused on helping you live a better life through his life lessons. Mine's more of a story about me and fun. And there are some things to learn.
Yeah.
There's a few things. But I want to read your book. I think we could all use a healthy dose of all
I
of
hope
this.
there's a skin section in your book because you have the most beautiful skin.
Thank you, love.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate
Oh,
that.
on your way in here, all of the men were abuzz. Brody decided that you're his type. So, yeah, good job.
And you smell great. And you smell great.
So I'm coming back. Can I move in here? Like, seriously.
So we're being that friend that is your cheerleader.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I know you've got to run, but hold on. Season 3 of Queer Eye, Netflix.
Yeah.
We already know there's emotional stuff going on there because that's what this run of Queer Eye is all about.
Yeah.
I mean, anything you want to tell us that we could learn from this season?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to go back to that book signing. I started already signing books. And
you cheated.
Yeah, I've already started. Yeah, I've already started pre-signing them. But what I've done in some of the books, I'm actually putting my phone number, so if someone wants to call me for advice, brave move, right?
Whoa.
So
that's kinda cool.
if you come out to the book signing, you might get that book with my telephone number.
We call that 2 iPhones.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But with season 3, I think...
Hello.
I think the thing that's great about season 3 is that we are, a year ago, the 5 of us didn't know each other. And even though we have great chemistry, it's been a big success. You can see the evolution of 5 people who have now truly fallen in love with each other, truly know each other, and truly are just on the mission to help each other. Help other people. The trailer does nothing for like the fun, the emotion. It's the best season yet. I think
of the guys from Queer Eye as being superheroes. They each have a different power, but now you've been together. You're on season 3. Now you understand each other's powers better, and you can help focus to help people.
We're like Captain Planet, actually.
When are we going to get a lesbian on Queer Eye?
Well, we have one on this season.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
A queer girl this season.
This season, season 3, we've helped our first lesbian, and she is phenomenal.
It's about time.
Yes.
And I want you to explain. Everyone says, Karamo Brown is the cultural expert. What does that mean?
It's
in your definition. I know what it means.
Yeah, it means they were lazy and did a throwback to a category that I no longer do. Like, they did culture because the original Fab Five had a culture guy,
right?
And Jay Rodriguez, he's phenomenal. He was on Broadway. He acted, and so he was culture. Me, I am a mental health expert, and so my job is to fix the hearts and minds. And I do that in the book, I do that on the show, but the culture title is misleading. And unfortunately,
I think so too.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I've said call me the show's counselor, therapist, whatever you want to. But you know what? I realize that no matter what they call me, I'm showing up for other people, and people are healing, they're growing, and that's all that matters to me.
So know that as you watch season 3. Now, once again, Karamo Brown, it's Karamo, my story of embracing purpose, healing, and hope. 3 of the many things we should be doing every day. It's available today. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I appreciate you.